What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the adult. Come on in. Come on in. The water's fine. Come on in, man. We got to talk. Yo, what's up, man? Can you hear me good? Because we have to talk. Come on in, brother. I feel you. Realist, what's going on? 8, what's going on, man? Dog, HBO Boxing Is Dead, David Diaz. Soapy, come on in. Thanks, dog. Hilarious. Yo, come on in, brothers. Hey, we got to talk. We got to talk. HBO Boxing is dead. You hear about that? Yo, Jay Stilo, what's the word? Yo, HBO canceled the boxing program. No more Roy Jones Jr., Max Kellerman. No more Let's Get Ready to Rumble. None of that is all gone. No more HBO boxing. I want you guys to share this, man. I feel you, 8. Thanks for the love, baby. Hey, everybody share this because we got to talk. We got to talk big time. We got to talk about boxing. Yeah, Daisy, I feel you. Yo, share all this. What's up, BK? Share all this, man. Share it. We have to have a full discussion for about 40 minutes. I got 40 minutes for y'all. Check this out. What's up, Jesse? Boxing is dead for HBO, okay? And that is not looking good for our sport. The reason why HBO dropped boxing is because it's not profitable. Whatever answer they come up with, they say, blame it on T. I blame it on TNT. They can say, yeah, he does. Eddie Hearn is happy. They can say that boxing is as popular as ever before. Look, American boxing is dying. That's why. The sport is not as profitable as it was. If so, look here. Money make the world go round. My heart is in boxing. I know where our hearts are at. All right. But the truth is, it's not profitable. That's why they're canceling the program. All right. So what we have to do is, I feel you, Jay. Exactly. So let's talk about why the fights aren't as good. And then let's start pointing fingers. Okay. The first finger I'm going to point to is Floyd Mayweather. I'm going to point. Floyd Mayweather, I love him. He was a great boxer, great to watch for the pugilists of the sport. But Floyd Mayweather, what he did to boxing indirectly or even directly, kind of reminds me of LeBron James. LeBron James is also a GOAT, okay? But LeBron James, extremely physical, very fast. But when he went to the hole for a layup, they weren't calling his fouls. Why? Because he's physical, which caused him to start flopping. The rest of the league start doing the same thing. That was bad for the sport, NBA, to even watch. People were sick of looking at that. Also, the mega teams. When he went to the Heat, I feel him. Get your money, get your rings. But when he went to the Heat, it bled through the NBA. Now everybody want to do super teams. That's bad for the league. I love LeBron. He's a GOAT. But what he did was bad for the league. So Floyd Mayweather, okay, he is the epitome of high reward, low risk, okay? Everybody started to take on that, a la Keith Thurman, a la Anthony Joshua. These guys start taking on that. Sean Porter may not even fight Errol Spence next. That is bad for the sport. All right. is bad for the sport. Exactly. So what Floyd Mayweather did was Floyd Mayweather, he with his mouth, he created big mega fights. All right. So everybody was tuning in because it was marketed so wild, so great. But then you had snooze fest. What's up, Chase Money? You had snooze fest when you watched it. The product still got to be good. You can put ribbons or whatever on a pile of shit. That doesn't make it a good product, okay? So at the end of the day, I loved watching Floyd Mayweather box because I'm a pugilist. I loved his little stuff that he did, the sweet science. But was Canelo and Triple G too profitable? It was, but the sport isn't. You can't just have one event keep a program going. Okay, so I loved watching Floyd Mayweather box, okay, but not the casual. I keep telling people the casual, what's up, crypto? The casual is why sports thrive, okay? You need to have people. You gotta have, exactly, I feel you, BK. You gotta have people want to watch or consume the product. You can't hype up a fight, have people spend $100 to watch it, and then when they look at it, you throw one punch every 30 seconds, okay? And then nobody can land a punch on, and you're not fighting the most risky fighter out there. That's one. People took that on. The fact that Errol Spence can't buy a fight is why boxing is not doing well, okay? Another thing, MMA. MMA, I keep telling you guys, when people watch MMA, they don't even have to know the two guys fighting. But what they do know is that the two guys that are fighting each other for the belt are the two best guys in the division. When you watch boxing, you can have somebody fighting for the championship belt that isn't the best fighter. That's a problem for the sport, all right? What keeps the sport going is knockouts and high impact fights. Another thing that killed boxing, especially for HBO, another thing that killed boxing was how they changed the judging. They changed it. They changed the point system based on significant punches, okay? So now that leaves this big room for judges to say, I think he landed the more significant punches. Back in the day, in the 80s and before that, it was who landed the most shots. So you had fights where two guys were throwing as many punches as possible to win the round. That made for a more action-packed fight. That made for better fighters. Now you have people who don't even want to throw a punch unless it's a significant one. Or it's wasted energy because when you're looking at the fight, the casual watching the fight saying, hey, this guy landed more shots than the other guy. How did the other guy win? That is confusing, okay? And that is creating a sport or athletes in the sport that's not fighting anymore. Exactly. You got boxers who are playing boxing now. They're not fighting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so this is what we need in boxing. We definitely need more knockouts. We need high impact fights. We need the best fighting the best. And we need whoever won the dang on fight gets the decision. That's what we need. Also, don't be afraid to show the ring girls. Now, I understand I may sound old school and new school way, whatever. Forget all that, okay? UFC, they show the ring girls. Now, you can call me sexist or misogynistic or whatever, but all I know is when I watch boxing or UFC, I see two half-naked men in there, okay? So, if you can show two half-naked men, you can show a ring girl, all right? So, go back to the barbaric, what makes people get excited to even go to an event and watch a fight. All those things are important and they stripped it away. All right, let's go back to being barbaric. All right, you got fighters out there. Errol Spence can't buy a fight. Errol Spence and Danny Garcia should have been fought. Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford should be signing a contract right now. Real talk, man. They boxing. Let me tell you something. Boxing became artificial. Dude, if boxing was thriving, HBO wouldn't have dropped the product. You feel what I'm saying? I know this. Boxing isn't thriving. Okay? So, boxing became artificial. What you saw were people flashing and throwing money, boxers wearing the big chains, and having fights that are tiddlywinks. There wasn't no blood and guts. So people start going to MMA. Why? Because you saw blood and people get knocked out. At the end of the day, we watched boxing because it was barbaric, because it was savage. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why Hard Knock Nights Live, that's why we're trying to produce a game that has current boxers. It's something that when you go up to a kid and say, who's your favorite fighter? And they say Mike Tyson, they never even lived to see him. They don't know the fighters right now. They don't know them. All right? And there's some great fighters out there. The whole sport has to change. And all the people, absolutely, TK, and all the people who send me little emails talking about, hey, man, you tell too many jokes on your channel. Look, I'm making boxing fun. Okay, that whole dry, yeah, you see the footwork, he landed one shot. I love those things because I'm a pugilist, but I'm thinking past. I'm thinking past just this little niche and this little, you know, the small percentage of people who can really understand the sweet science. It got to get bigger than that. I'm trying to save the sport. Now, HB, I can't hear let's get ready to rumble now. Yeah, I'm on my soapbox. I hate this, man. This is embarrassing. This is terrible. And this whole Floyd Mayweather 2 is another example of why boxing isn't on HBO anymore. That's going to be garbage. Whatever product that Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao put out when they fight each other should be dang on ESPN, Friday night fights from back in the day. Okay, it should be something that you just turn to real quick. That Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather fight, the actual product wasn't $100. That wasn't $100. I've seen better fights, dude, that was definitely worth. Triple G and Canelo was worth the money. Cool, but you see the point. You see the point, though. That going to little applications and streaming. Check this out. Do you understand why? Right. Do you understand why everything, all boxing stuff is going to streaming for $10 a month? Do you understand why that is? Do you understand why that is? Because the people who really want to see the fight, the small percentage of us who really love boxing, isn't enough to keep the sport on a network. So they're going to charge this little group $10 to watch the sport. That's why. What I'm saying is the fact that you're streaming a sport for $10 per month and it's not on, just a network means that the sport isn't doing well. I can turn right now to an Ultimate Fighter. I can turn right now to FS1 and watch old fights of UFC. Where's boxing? Where's boxing? And I've been telling people, I remember BK, the UK is doing this thing. The UK is doing this thing for boxing. Y'all doing good out there. What's up, God? Y'all doing good out there. I'm talking about US. I remember Evander Holyfield's team. I think Sweet Pea Whitaker was part of that team. The Evander Holyfield Olympic team, okay? That squad that came, I remember them. I remember when Roy Jones Jr. got robbed. I watched the fight, okay? I remember Floyd Mayweather when he won the silver. I remember when Lennox Lewis was in there, okay? We used to see these guys in the Olympics and couldn't wait for these guys to come up. I can't see an Olympic boxing match. Yeah, man, I can't see an Olympic boxing match. What would influence or give any little boy or girl the incentive to be a boxer when they don't even see them on regular TV? They can't see what a champion look like and what champion is. Exactly, Junior. This is what we need. This is what we need, God. What we need is the NBL, the National Boxing League. We need this thing sanctioned, and we need rules. The more punches landed is the guy who wins, period. So we can have action-packed fights, and so that you can learn how to fight in high pace. That's why I said Floyd Mayweather would have never beaten Sugar Ray Leonard, Aaron Pryor. Those guys fought at a higher pace. That pop shot chilling would not have worked. He would have been outworked by those guys, by Henry Armstrong and those guys. There's no way that he's the GOAT. So we need a National Boxing League where exactly the middleweight division is in 3 dang weight classes. Okay, or the welterweight, there should be one weight class. Middleweight, welterweight, god darn, featherweight, heavyweight. Like, we need to stop with these little mini things for a big, huge money grab. We need to stop doing that, man. We need to stop doing it. So we need a National Boxing League where you change the rules of the point system, okay, where you change the weight classes, and you make sure that the best fight the best. Sean Porter just got the belt. Errol Spence should be next, period. There shouldn't be a decision for him to make. Maybe I should hold on to the belt. But no, to be the champ, you got to hold on to that thing. Only way you can hold on to that thing is by beating the #1 contender, man. What's going on? What's going on? Sean Porter just got the belt. He shouldn't have the choice. He shouldn't have the choice to hold on to the belt as long as he wants to. He has to fight the best. Why? Because it's better for the sport. It's better for us. That's why, think of UFC. They had a huge cash cow in Bones Jones. Bones Jones cheated. They dropped him for 2 years. They suspended him. They did that twice. Why? Because no fighter is bigger than the sport. So in boxing, you shouldn't be bigger than the sport. You shouldn't have your decision. No, man. That's why the sport is going down. That's why the sport is falling apart. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. We need some sanctioning body. That HBO dropping boxing should be far more, we should be panicking more than we are. Really. Really. It's a reflection of how good or bad the sport is doing. That's another thing. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. 140 and 147 shouldn't be 2 weight classes. It shouldn't be 2 weight classes. The guy weighs in at 140. Terrence Crawford was coming in at 152 anyway. He was stepping on fight night. He was coming in at 152 anyway. All of this is a bunch of crap, man. 140 to 147 shouldn't be 2 weight classes. Catchweight fights should be eliminated. Absolutely. Absolutely. When Andre Ward was a super middleweight and Triple G was a middleweight, that should have been 1 weight class. We should have had that fight. It shouldn't have been Triple G or being able to say, well, I'm not going to move up. No, man. You are middleweight and you fight in that weight class. Andre Ward and Triple G, that should have been 1 weight class. They should have fought each other. It's a darn shame that we have to try to estimate who's really the best. Keith Thurman had the nerve. He has the nerve to fight Zab Judah as his warm-up. After Zab Judah, he's trying to call out McGregor. The fact that you can even do that is insane. That's horrible for the sport. Look, you should have a warm-up. When you come back, fight Devin Alexander, okay? After Devin Alexander, fight Errol Spence for the belt to unify. What the heck is going on? Fight, I mean, Jesus. Real spill. Right. Jermell Charlo is the mandatory. There shouldn't even be a choice. I don't care if you don't even think Jermell is worth it or if he's that talented or not. It shouldn't matter. The guy is the mandatory. Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. People give him crap when he was fighting at light heavyweight, but he fought the number one contender every fight. Every fight he fought the number one contender. Evander Holyfield is one of the greatest boxers ever. Why? Because he fought the man. He fought the man. He was always fighting the man. That guy messed around and fought George Foreman, Riddick Bowe. Like he was fighting the man. Like, yeah, the business is ruining the sport. It always was trying to ruin the sport. Okay? But something happened. Something happened. It's kind of like with hip hop. Okay? The fact that Cardi B is the chick of New York, is the female rapper of New York, is ridiculous. She has no rhymes. What happened to having content, bars, and rhymes and really being good? Not fake breasts. I'm talking about really being good. Floyd Mayweather had the money. You can't call yourself the best ever just because you had the money. Keith Thurman shouldn't want to inspire to follow that model. He should be fighting the next guy. What happened to being the baddest man on the planet? What happened to that? I'm the baddest man on the planet. Remember Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson, I feel you, BK. Judges happen. Remember Mike Tyson? He was the baddest man on the planet. We all know right now that Errol Spence is the baddest man on the planet. That man can't beg for a fight. Absolutely. One belt a weight class, and the weight class, there shouldn't be 3 darn classes in middleweight. That's ridiculous. I don't even know. Junior middleweight, super middleweight, but junior middleweight is super welterweight. Like, what is going on? What is going on? All of that stuff is huff. All of that stuff is huff. Yeah. Right. Right. It's all artificial. You have to understand, people aren't dumb. People aren't dumb. Just like John Jones. Just like John Jones. You cannot be taking performance-enhancing drugs and they call you the king. They kicking you out. You ain't the man. So people understand when stuff start feeling artificial, they bounce. They bounce. Stuff got to get real. Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder shouldn't be under negotiations for a year. That is a y'all fight. You have to fight. You have to fight. You got 4 belts. He got the last one. Fight. There shouldn't even be any kind of damn confusion. The fact that it is what's wrong with the sport. And then when the fight is over, you can't even trust who won. True. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. They should have been fought. They should have been fought. I sat there. I mean, you can go through all these guys from the past. Now they're known as stupid. You got people who look at Floyd Mayweather's career, his high reward, low risk taking career, and they start judging Muhammad Ali, saying that's why he had brain damage. They start judging guys like they were stupid. This is smarter. They were stupid. Ali taking on Ken Norton, Foreman, Frazier, Floyd Patterson, Sonny Liston, all these guys, Ernie Shavers. That was stupid. The reason why Floyd Mayweather is the GOAT, because Ali had Parkinson's. He was stupid. Okay, if that's the case, why fans rather watch a fight like Mickey Ward and Gotti than Floyd? You're putting Floyd above the sport. You're not getting Floyd's money. When I look at the fight, I want to be entertained when I watch the fight. Forget how much money he got. I'm not getting a bit of it. I just want to watch a fight. I don't want to say, woo, he got out clean with a pretty face. Look how much money he got, boy. That's not entertaining me. I like the sport. There wasn't enough great product for HBO to keep the program. That's a shame. Yeah. But the thing is, if you say, oh man, dude, if you say, oh man, dude, look at these guys, man. They're punchy now. They weren't being smart. The sport of boxing is savage. That's why we love it. You get in there because you're a gladiator. And that's what you do. That's why fighters are born. Some people like the taste of blood. And how you end up is how you end up. But you like the taste of blood. That's why we admire them so much. Because we're not willing to sacrifice. So when you got those gladiators up in there, boxing, put their lives on the line, that is appealing to us. That's just the nature of the sport. But once you start tuning in and now you're playing boxing and not fighting, then, hey, the athlete, you're fine. You're living a swell life. I understand what you're doing. But I don't want to watch it. Now what? That's where the rubber meets the road. I haven't seen it, Junior. I haven't seen it, man. Absolutely, TK. That's my thing. We had to start over. We had to get these new guys fighting each other, and it had to be accessible. It had to be accessible. We had to be able to just turn on the TV and say, oh, there's a fight tonight. Oh, man, dude, I heard about this guy, and get to know him. We had to start over. But now Floyd Mayweather want to come back with Manny Pacquiao and have a 2 fight? Yeah, it was awesome. Probably so, Rock. That's probably what it is. But the sport needs to be cleaned up. And it needs to be more fun. What happened to the guys? What happened to the characters? You know what I'm saying? What happened to the fighters? What happened to... Let me tell you something. When Hagler was walking around, people saw him as a badass. He was mean. When Hagler was walking around, you were like, hey, yo, that dude is the champion because he kicked butt. Not he's the man, check how much money he has and I don't. It's I turned to watch Hagler and I said I respect that dude as a fighter. We need structure. Absolutely. Absolutely. My bad, guy. My bad. Yeah, BK's the man. He's living life out there, man. He's living life out there. I saw that AJ fight. I saw that AJ Povetkin fight. They came out there. They standing on platforms that's rising. Stuff is blowing up. The crowd is going nuts. There was a knockout. I mean, dude, that's what boxing is about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Jesus, Amir Khan, Samuel Vargas was like, holy crap, there were 3 knockdowns. Now everybody want to know who Samuel Vargas is. That's how boxing goes. The brutality, the knockdowns, finishing somebody. I remember Emmanuel Stewart, and he's the GOAT. Emmanuel Stewart was like, I remember when he told Lennox Lewis, Tyson is done, knock him out. Finishing in sensational fashion. Make it look good. It's great, knock him out. Why play with it? Finish him off. Forget safe. Sit down on the punch, knock the guy out. He's ready to go. Emmanuel Stewart understood boxing and what it was about. He understood it. I'm telling you, me, I love the purity of the sport, the sweet science. You know, moving your head a half an inch here, rolling the shoulder, footwork. I love the little things. But that's not what's going to keep the sport alive. Not guys like me. It's going to be people who just turn in the channel and say, hey, man, that guy looks tough. Let me see. That's what keeps the sport alive. Really. So, yeah, man. I'm sorry. I got on my soapbox. Snapped off. What up, True? TK, yeah, I mean, that's why I'm so passionate about Hard Knock Nights. You know what I'm saying? The whole approach, like I said, I'm sitting here interviewing guys, and people in the comments are like, hey, who is that dude? Nobody knows who he is. That's the problem. That's why we put him in the game. So you can know who he is. So you can be like, hey, hold up, that dude is raw. It's not about, oh, if he's not known, that doesn't mean he's not good. That dude got hands, and he knocks everybody out. Patrice Bonnie, check him out. All those guys. Johnny Burpolis, check him out. Those guys are good. Frank Galarza is a beast. He just knocked a guy out with a body shot. Like, these guys need to be known. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Heck yeah, man. Amateurs. All these new guys. If the Olympics don't want to put these amateurs out, Hard Knock Nights is. You know what I'm saying? Put the amateurs out. You play with them. You know what I mean? If they go pro, then they go pro. I mean, that's the whole point of Hard Knock Nights. That's why I'm passionate. That's why I said it's a movement. It's to have these guys back in everyone's home. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to save the sport. Kennedap Studio, trying to save the sport. Q is working his butt off every day. That guy is programming. He's with programmers, and he's talking to programmers all over the world, and he does it inside of a boxing gym while he's watching guys box. That's what it's about. People always ask me, hey man, is Muhammad Ali gonna be in the game? Hey man, is Tommy Morrison gonna be in the game? Hey look man, is Shaw Porter gonna be in the game? Is Terrence Crawford, is Lomachenko gonna be in the game? The guys right now, that's what keeps the sport alive. The legends, I love them. We'll work on that, but I'm talking about the guys right now. You know what I'm saying? There's too many people, when they name boxers, they only talk about Sugar Ray Leonard, Ali. Yo, who's the heavyweight champion right now? People can't answer that. And the funny thing is, there's multiple heavyweight champions. That's the biggest problem. Who's the middleweight champion? What's a middleweight? What weight class is that? That's a problem. Somebody asked me the other day. Right, Jamie. Somebody asked me the other day. Somebody said, hey, ShowBizz, who you think will win, Lomachenko or Errol Spence? All I can say to them was, if they were to fight, Errol Spence will win because they're not in the same weight class. I couldn't blame them for it because they don't know. All they heard was Lomachenko was a great fighter. What's up, IRA? What's going on? That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to laugh because it was a casual fan, and we need casual fans. But I saw that was an issue. Hey, man, I saw Lomachenko on. Yeah, dog. That's like weight classes, you know. Yeah, man, they call him high tech. Who went between him and Errol Spence? That's the problem, man. Nobody, you know, casuals don't know. What's up, Clark? Yeah, that's what, right, Soapy, stuff like that. Hey, man, who will win, man? Chocolatito or Tyson Fury? I mean, stuff like that, man. They just know names. Why? Because they're just looking at highlights. They're not watching the fight. They didn't even know how to access it. Dude, this channel, my show business partners, what y'all doing, we're getting new boxing fans all the time. And I have people subscribing who just subscribe to me because of the colorful wall and because of my jokes. And that's why I do that, because they fall in love with boxing without even knowing it. They're just watching me because it's like, hey, he's funny. He got a wig on. There's a method to my madness. Before you know it, you're like, hey, man, when the next AJ fight? That's what I'm doing. I'm not just being goofy and just joking around. I'm trying to save the sport. So I'm trying to get people to look at ShowBizz, the adult, like, hey, man, that dude is funny. Who is Keith Thurman again? And check him out. Look him up on Instagram. And then check out his fight. Come out with a video game. Play with him on a video game and say, oh, that's a real dude. That's the point. Real talk, man. Yeah, crypto. Thanks God. And that's the point. It's like, I'm making sure I don't make people feel bad for being a casual. What kind of shit, I'm sorry for cussing. What kind of stuff is that? I'm not going to make people feel bad for getting introduced to the sport or saying, hey, man, I know about boxing, but I mean, I just feel like I'm too far behind to get to know these guys. Well, come on over to the channel, check it out, have a good laugh. But that is messed up that we don't have HBO Boxing anymore. You know what I'm saying? But we got to make boxing fun. We got to have high impact. I'm talking about just busy fights with knockdowns and the ups and downs, and you feel like you were in a roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? More people, that is true. More people were concerned with if Canelo really beat Triple G or not, that last fight, than how great the fight was. I had a conversation with a trainer out in Canada. Y'all gonna get to know him. We call him G. I had a conversation with him, and he said people never even acknowledged the fact that Triple G showed a new wrinkle in this game, that he can box off his back foot and triple and double up on the jab. People are just talking about, hey, was Triple G robbed? How about the fight itself? That's why at the end of the fight, if you look at it again, when I was doing the commentary, I said, we all won. Boxing won. It was a great fight. I don't care what they said. Exactly, True IQ. We won. We won. As fans, we won. I don't care how much money they made. I just know I grabbed a beer and I ordered the fight, and I better be entertained. Period. Man, if I gotta pay $10 a month for ESPN, $10 a month for DAZN, another $10 a month so I can watch all the fights that I want to watch, that's a darn shame. I'm not going through that, man. I want to pay what I pay a month for my cable subscription so I can just turn to the dang on fight. I hope he did. It was an exciting fight. And the funny thing is, if there was, Canelo and Triple G fight was razor thin close. When it's razor thin close, there's no robbery. I don't care what the decision is. It's not a robbery. When it's razor thin close, there's no robbery. My thing is, both fights were razor thin close. They're just evenly matched. We got it now. They're evenly matched. Canelo and Triple G, neither one is that much better than the other. They're evenly matched. And depending on the night of the fight, one may slightly edge over the other one. We get it, okay? Canelo wasn't robbed. Triple G wasn't robbed. Honestly, every fight they have should be a draw. They're even, period. We don't have to see a third fight. They're even. But if it were to come on Showtime now, I know at least I'm going to watch a bunch of punches being thrown and landed. Rip HBO. The problem is, Rolando, the problem is there are promoters. We need the National Boxing League. Man, I'm telling you, look, ShowBizz Partners, this group right now, we're going to save boxing. And I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to take credit for me breathing new life in Fight Night. If I can do that, that game was gone for like 10 years, okay? And I brought Fight Night back right here on the channel. Everybody know that. Everybody knows that, all right? So if I can do that with a 10-year-old game, I know, what's up, Q? I know that I can save the greatest sport of all time. So right here, right now, today, we're going to save the sport. We're going to save boxing. So remember this day, ShowBizz Partners, all y'all, we're going to save this sport. If that means that I got to make a joke of Sean Porter, Kenny Porter, Keith Thurman, if I got to make these dudes an object of ridicule every darn day, I will do it to make sure that these guys give us the product that we want. Period. If you're not willing to be a fighter, a gladiator, leave the sport and stop teasing us. Period. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, Rock. If I can get these fools to do something that they've never done, if I can get I'm calling them fools right now because honestly, they should have showed a brother the money, but that's okay. If I can get these guys to unlock a fighter that was never ever unlocked, unless it was like some Amazon pre-order, okay, I know the best sport ever, I can save that sport. So forget the paying $10 for some streaming, another $10 here, another $10 there. We want boxing on TV. Real. Salute, Jay. Right. Do you know I used to run home? TK, I'm happy you said that. Do you know I used to run home to watch a fight that would be on NBC? You know what I'm saying? I remember I had an uncle, rest in peace, my Uncle Robert, who I remember being at my grandmother's house as a little boy, and he looked through the TV guide. That's how old I am. There was a TV guide, a book. He opened it up and said, oh, shoot, the fight's tonight. He turned to the channel. We were too poor to have cable. He turned to the channel, and the biggest fight of the year was on damn Channel 7. Dude, that's what boxing is about. That's what boxing should be about. No, Q, I'm just pissed. I'm only here for these 40 minutes. I kind of went over my time, man. I'm sorry, guys, that, it's such a quick live stream. I usually do this stuff for 3 hours, but I got to run to my son's football practice to pick him up, Man, but I'm going to get back on, and we're going to make this a movement along with Hard Knock Nights. And making sure that, these amateur fighters get known before they even turn pro. Just like Evander Holyfield was known, Sweet Pea Whitaker was known, George Foreman. Remember he was waving the flag and he bowed when he won the Olympics? All those guys were known before they went pro. We're going to make sure with Hard Knock Nights that these guys, I don't care if you 2-0, 0-2, you're going to be known before you go pro. Or when you just a baby pro out there, you're going to be recognized and kids going to be playing. So let's make sure that this movement is real. This stuff, boxing is going to be saved, period. I'm going to make sure that ShowBizz the adult, I'm out.